morning everyone, and welcome back to our online class, right? So as in the previous class we had talked about the beaks of the bird, different kinds and different types of beaks the birds have. Okay, so today we are going to deal with the feet of the birds, that means the legs. Okay, a bird has usually one pair, that means two legs. Alright, one pair, two legs. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the feet. So class 3 science, and today's date is 30, right? Today's date is 30 6 2020, right? So today we are going to talk about that. Our chapter name is animals, right? Birds, and we are dealing with our bird, and today we are talking about the feet of birds. We are talking about the feet of the bird. Okay, birds have 2 feet with 4 toes on each. That means toes means like we have the fingers in our hand, the same thing which we have in the leg, that are known as toes, right? Okay. So birds have 2 feet with 4 toes on each, ending in a claw. Claw means what? The one which helps them to catch, right? They catch and hold their food with the feet and claws, right? Claws also helps the bird to climb, walk and sit on the branches of the tree. Now with the help of the claws of the bird, okay, the special part named, or we call it as claws, it is present in the leg of the bird, which helps them to either catch, either walk, climb or sit on the branches of the tree, right? Okay. Birds have 2 feet with 4 toes on each leg. Okay. They catch and hold their food with the help of their feet and the claws. Claws also helps the bird to climb, walk and sit on the branches of the trees, right? Till here, no doubt? Okay. So the first one is perching birds. The first one we are talking about the feet of the bird is number 1. We are talking about the perching bird. Okay, perching bird. Perching birds. Okay. So perching birds, the birds such as crow, parrots have a feet with the 3 toes pointed forward. Okay, 3 toes pointed forward and 1 backward. This enables them to perch on the thin branches and twigs easily and tightly. Now perch means to what? To land and stay on the edge of something, such as the branch of a tree or fence of a wall, right? See here, I can show you the picture of the foot of the crow as well as the bird. See, 3 fingers or 3 toes are forward and 1 backward, which helps them to sit, okay, on a stable or a tree or on the fence, right? So perching birds, which birds are known as perching birds? We can call it as perching birds as what? Crow and parrots. Okay, crow, parrot. Next thing we'll talk about is water birds. Number 2, we call it as water birds. Water birds. As in the previous class we have already learned about this water bird which are eating fish. Yeah. So that is, do you remember pelican? Do you remember pelican? Yeah. It is that. Okay. Water birds. Water birds such as pelicans and ducks have their front toes jointed by the layer of skin. Okay, that means their toes, that means the fingers of the feet, they are joined. Okay, they are joined with the skin. You can see here in the picture. This we call it as also the webbed feet. We call it as the web. See, the fingers are joined with this skin. No, why? Because we know that these are what? Water birds. That means what? They are able to swim in the water And for swimming, we see, some people divers, skydiver, means water divers, they put some kind of plastic legs, that means they are looking same like these things, webbed feet. Why? Because those feet helps them to swim in the water, right? Okay. Water birds such as the pelicans and ducks have their front toes joined by the layer of skin. Okay, such type of feet are known as the webbed feet. Webbed means attached. Okay, these birds swim forward by pushing the water with their webbed feet. With the help of these webbed feet, okay, or the feet which is toes which is joined by the skin, okay, this helps them to swim in the water, right? So water birds, what will be the water birds? Water birds will be those birds like pelicans, okay, pelicans and the ducks, alright, and they have what? They have webbed feet, alright. Next we have the climbing bird. Point number 3 we will talk about is the climbing bird, okay. Climbing birds, by the word itself, what comes to our mind? That these birds climb, right? Now where is the climb? Now see here, the climbing birds such as the woodpecker can climb the tree trunk with the feet, okay, that have 2 toes pointed forward and 2 toes pointed backward. Now this is the type of the bird which have 2 toes pointed forward and 2 toes pointed backward. Why? Because this type of toes helps them to climb the trees, right? Like example of this climbing bird I will be giving you as woodpecker, okay. Woodpeckers, what they do, they have these 4 toes in which 2 are pointed upward and 2 are pointed downward, okay, which helps them to climb the trees, right? Next we have scratching birds. By the sound you can imagine that what type of bird it can be, okay, scratching birds. Alright, scratching birds we can see in our homes, like birds like hen, okay, we always see them scratching a mud. Why? Because they are finding the food. They eat what? Insects which are found in the ground. So we see the birds such as hens have sharp and strong claws to dig the ground for food such as seeds and worms. All the leftover, whatever we eat and whatever is left out, the seeds which are left over in the ground, that are eaten by whom? This kind of birds, scratching birds, that is not hen. Alright? Hens. Alright. Next we will talk about wading birds. Okay? Next we will talk about wading birds. Alright. Next we talk about is what? Wading birds such as herons and cranes walk through the shallow water using their long leg and widely spread out toes. This is called wading. Now, wading means what? This is such type of birds which are seen on the shallow water sides, right? That means little muddy water type where they can stand, okay, and they eat what? They eat the small plants or the insects which are present in the waters, right? Now see and wading birds, where we can find these wading birds? Herons and cranes. I can give you the example of the cranes. Cranes means, you know that we should know buck, white colored bird, that is known as cranes, right? Okay. Next we talk about the flesh-eating birds. Flesh-eating birds, right? Number 6 we can say about the flesh-eating birds. We know that there are many birds which eats flesh like eagle, vulture, hawk, right? These are the birds which eats flesh of the other animals or human beings, right? Flesh eating birds such as eagles and owls have a very sharp claws called talons to pick up small animals such as rat and mice, right? And we can see these eagles and all in the eagle vultures nearby the riverside, where the dead remains are left over simply and they go and feed upon them, right? So flesh eating birds, we can talk about eagles, right? We can say eagles, owls, etc. Right? So today we have learned about what? The feet of the birds, and there are 6 different kinds of feet, right? One is perching birds. The birds like crow and parrot, they have this, okay? Then next we have water birds, which eats the fishes and all, fishes and water plants like pelicans and ducks, and they have what? One special kind of feature among them, that is their feet is webbed feet, which helps them to swim in the water, right? Next, climbing birds. These are the climbing birds which have 2 feet pointed upward and 2 feet pointed backward, which helps them to climb up the tree, right? The scratching bird. The scratching birds we can see over our home, the hen. We see them always scratching the ground. Why? To search their food like seeds or the worms. Okay. Next we talk about the wading birds, and they have the long and strong leg which helps them to stand on the shallow water where they feed themselves, right? Next we talk about the flesh eating birds. The birds like eagles, owls, vulture, they are seen, okay? Their claws are very strong that they can catch or hold the small animals like rats and mice, okay? Their eyes are very sharp, they can see their prey, they can see the other small animals, they come flying, take them and go, right? So now today next topic we are dealing is the feathers of the birds. The feathers of the birds, right? Feather means what? Whatever is seen in the bird, whatever is seen, the covering of the body of the bird is known as the feather, right? So next topic we are talking is about the feathers of the bird. Right? We are talking about the feathers of bird. Okay. There are 3 different kinds of feathers we see in the birds, right? Number 1, we talk about the down feathers, okay? Then we have the body feather, and next the flight feather, okay? So let us read what are those. All the birds have their body covered with the feathers. This makes them different from rest of the animals. Feathers of the birds are of the following 3 different types, right? As I have already said you that the bird body is covered with the one special kind that is known as the feathers, and these feathers makes them different from the other animals, right? Okay. So how many kinds or how many types of feathers do we see in the bird? We see 3 different kinds of feathers. Number 1, we talk about down feather, right? These are fluffy feathers located close to the bird's skin. These feathers are soft and short. They help to keep the body warm. This down feather, what they do? They keeps the body of the bird warm. The nestling or the newborn has lot of down feathers. The newborn baby of the bird, they have lots of down feather to keep themselves warm, right? So the first topic we talked about the different kinds of feather. Number 1, we talk about that down feather, right? Down feather, and they helps the bird to be warm, right? Next we talk about the body feather. Okay, these feathers are present over the down feathers. Okay, where the down feathers are there, they are just close to the skin, and these body feathers are present just down the down feathers. They cover the whole body and give shape to the bird's body. Okay, the main feather is the body feather, which gives them shape. Okay, and they cover the whole part of the body, right? So number 2, we talked about what? Body. The second type of feather we talked about is what? Body feather. Okay, so they are seen close to the down feather, and they cover the whole body, as well as they give the shape to the bird's body. Right. Third is the flight feathers. Flight feathers. These feathers are mostly present on their wings. Flight. Flight means what? To run. Right. Flight feathers. These feathers are mostly present on the wings and the tail of the bird, which helps the bird to fly as well as change the directions. Understood this topic? The other important or the most important feather on the bird is the flight feather, which are found where? In their wings, which helps the bird, okay, which helps the bird to fly as well as tail change the directions. Understood everyone? So third topic or the third types of feather we see in the bird is what? Your flight feather. Okay, and this flight feather, what they do? They help the bird to fly and change the direction. And where these flight feathers are seen? They are seen on the wings as well as the tail. Alright? Okay. So, today we are going to do this much only. So in the next class, I will be giving some more details about the animals bird. Okay.